Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay, and today the FFG gods have blessed us with two new articles for two new units, one for the Imperials and one for the Rebels, which I have to say are very interesting. Now, I have mentioned the possibility when the Boba Fett thing was leaked and people didn't believe it. Well, it definitely turns out that that leak was correct. These are basically turrets that you can have as units. Very interesting. It's the well, let's just show you instead of me yapping. Let's actually just show you. I would show you if I could find my mouse, and I will try and keep them a little bit, this video a little bit shorter, because when I load it I will be using my mobile data. So the Frontal Assault, this is the Imperial one, the E-Web Heavy Blaster unit, and yeah, it's very interesting. So it's this one is you can actually move this one, where you can't actually move the Rebel ones, but it's 55 points. And if you look here, it's got, basically it's all about having good shooting in your front arc. Now it's using the Snowtrooper-esque style model, because this is all based around Hoth. But yeah, and it's got Surge to Crits, very interesting red dice, very much like the normal Stormtrooper kind of, Snowtrooper kind of thing. But yeah, if you look at the fixed front cumbersome weapon there in the E-Web Heavy Blaster, it's got 1 red dice, 2 black dice, 2 white dice. Very interesting. In fact, I'm showing you that there, but we can actually just look at it here. It's a lot easier. But yeah, 55 points. Full pivot, plodding, which means you can only perform one standard move, so you can't do move and then move. Reposition basically lets you perform a free pivot after you've done a standard move. You wouldn't be able to shoot your heavy blaster that turn because that's cumbersome, so you can't move and shoot. But it is basically, let's just say it's a turret that you can move, and it pumps out a lot of damage, and it's only for 55 points. So that's the basic premise of it. It looks very interesting. There is a question about what will happen. We'll get onto that when we talk about the Rebel ones. But yeah, it's weird because it's a emplacement trooper, so presumably it can capture objectives and stuff like that, which is a little bit interesting. I can imagine maybe like a turn 6 mad dash to try and capture some objectives. But yeah, I keep saying the word interesting, but it's got Sentinel, which increases your standby from, instead of 1 to 2, it's 1 to 3. Yeah, that's going to be a very potent maneuver. You could literally like move. Well, you can't move and then stand by because you still won't be able to shoot because it's cumbersome. But do you know what I mean? You could aim and then stand by, and anybody who comes anywhere in near you, you're gonna blow them up. So let's have it can take the normal command upgrades, but we are getting some extra cards. And I mean, instead of trying to read them there, they have kindly produced pretty much full versions of it. So they say the Barrage Generator is basically for if you're against infantry. Any weapon with a fixed front, so this applies to anyone with this upgrade, so you can use this on this one and the Rebel one. You add 2 white dice, but you apply suppressive to your attack pool, so you're going to give them extra suppression tokens, which could be very interesting. The next one is the Overcharge Generator, which basically adds 1 black dice and an impact to your attack pool. Very interesting upgrade. I think it's only 10 points. Let's just have a look. Yep, fairly sure the other one was only 10 points. Why it does that where it comes up in a window, I have no idea. And the last one is HQ Uplink, which basically when you are issuing orders, you can issue an order to yourself. It gets exhausted though, so presumably like that's. It says during the issue's order step of the command, issue an order to yourself. Presumably that's a choice, although it doesn't technically give you the choice there, but let's presume that it is. Yeah, I think this and the Rebel ones both get that, and that really shows everything that these guys have. They're designed to move into decent positions and then blow people up with the E-Web Heavy Blaster. It does mention a release date of, did I see this before? The 3rd quarter of 2018, so possibly looking at maybe August, September, something like that. Who knows exactly. Interesting, lovely model as well. Can't complain about that. It's nice seeing 2 infantry units on the one base. It very much reminds me of like Warhammer Fantasy back in the day with like cannons and stuff like that. Even though I'm not necessarily sure you needed to base them, but there you have it. Obviously I will put snow and stuff or something on the base properly, but lovely model as well. I love the little gun and well, I say the little gun, the big gun and the guy helping them. Fantastic looking thing, very interesting concept. And the Imperial one for 55 points, I mean, I will probably take one. I think that's some good going for 55 points. Now let's have a look at Hold Your Ground, which is the Rebel one, which is slightly more interesting to me. It's better, but it also costs more, which I guess you could sort of expect. Oh, just talking about the cost, it's $20 for this, and I think the other one is probably also $20, which I guess for what it is might be a little bit expensive in terms of the amount of plastic, but it's not, you know, it's not too bad. It's reasonable enough. But yeah, let's have a look at the card again. There's no point me showing you this card because we get a full version of it here. Lovely looking model again. That is such a, like, I could almost believe that was real. Do you know what I mean? Like the quality there is actually really good. But let's have a look at the card now. It's 70 points, right? The interesting thing about this one, this is stationary, but it does have. It has that fixed front weapon. Just to say, they both have other weapons. So like, if you can't shoot at your fixed front, you can still like shoot your pistol basically. But yeah, this is interesting. It's stationary. Now it does have a courage value, and the question is what will happen when this unit panics. My theory would be that this unit just stays still when it panics, because stationary says you cannot perform moves except pivots. It doesn't say except like fleeing from panic or anything. So that would be my theory right now. Again, it has the sentinel, so it increases your standby from range 1 to 3. Very interesting. But this weapon's actually range 1 to 4. 5 black dice, impact 2. Basically gives you, if you want this in your rebel list, it gives you some very easy anti-vehicle. You could just plonk it in the middle of the board or where you want near an objective. It's not going to move. You could get full pivot so you can face the correct direction, but it's basically just going to sit there, aim and shoot, and it's going to be very good at it with its 5 black dice. So and it's range 4 as well. Plus you could take the suppressive if you wanted, or you could take an extra black dice and get impact 3 if you wanted for 10 points. I would possibly consider that if that's the goal of the unit. It has all the same upgrades. This is from behind. It has all the 3 same cards, so you can take you know, the upgrades that I just said. And the lovely model, I think, lovely concept. It's weird to me to have like, you don't get this sort of thing in 40k. As I said, it reminds me of like Warhammer Fantasy when I used to play. Like, and even then you could sort of move the cannons and stuff like that at the appropriate time. But this is going to be a very tactical decision right at the start of the game, and you can basically just say to your opponent, I want this section of the board. Whether or not, how this would work with you know, I can't remember the name of the deployment, the one where you can actually just deploy later on in like turn 2. That would be a very interesting question. I'm sure somewhere they'll have proper rules for that. But for now, yeah, very interesting indeed. It's such a strange concept to me, but I'm so happy to see it, if that makes sense. Like movable turrets for one, and a stationary laser cannon on the other. It's just exciting. Like, it's exciting that we're getting this kind of stuff, giving you more and more options. I suspect and hope that we'll probably get maybe vehicles next, because I sort of feel like we've had the special troopers, 2 units of core troopers, and we've only had those vehicles from the start. Hopefully we'll maybe get like tanks or something like that. You know, ATRT variants or ATST variants, something like that. But yeah, I am pretty damn happy with both of those. There's not really much to say, because it looks like everything was revealed. You know, it looks like all the cards are there, all the points are there, everything you need to play that unit is pretty much there, and with no surprises, which they don't necessarily always do, but in this case they have. That's literally everything you could use to play with those units. So really interesting. As I said, let me know your thoughts. Are you happy to see this? I'm happy to see as much variation as possible. Whether or not there's enough tactics involved with just putting a stationary thing down and calling that it, I mean, is questionable, I guess. But I think you know, you can only take maybe 2 of them at the most, and you forget it, then you can't take your ATRTs or your speeder bikes and stuff like that. So in that sense, I'm pretty confident they won't be completely imbalanced or anything like that. But let me know your thoughts. I could be completely wrong. As ever, if you like the video, do like and subscribe. And if you want to get like notifications that I've made a video, then there's a notification, the bell button thing. Thank you very much for watching. Have a most beautiful, beautiful day. Bye, guys.